Well, good morning, viewers from across the globe. Today is Tuesday, June 23rd. NDC presidential candidate Peter Obi has called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to resign, drawing inspiration from UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer's shock exit. And the presidency has fired back, describing his demands as childish, hollow, and anti-democratic. And over in Chicago, First Lady Michelle Obama and Nigerian superstar Tems are making magic, meeting young aspiring artists at the Obama Presidential Center's new media suite, mentoring the next generation of musicians. Let's dive right in. I am OjyOkpe, and this is what's trending. Now, before we dive deeper, let's see what you're talking about right now. We've been tracking conversations on X, Facebook, our YouTube live feed, and of course, Leke. And three stories are dominating your timelines this morning. Trending at number one, Nigerians are reacting to the remand of activist Sowore in Kuje prison after a court dismissed his bid to have the presiding judge removed from his case. He's being persecuted for calling President Bola Ahmed Tinubu a criminal online. And the debate over free speech versus criminal defamation is raging. Trending at number two, disturbing video from the Enugu North senatorial by-election are raising serious questions about integrity of Saturday's poll, with the PDP candidate caught on camera surrounded by armed men accused of terrorizing voters. And at number three, heartbreak from Benue State. One man loses 7 members of his family in a single boat accident on the River Benue after the boat capsized on their way home from his mother's burial. Heartbreaking. We have details. Now, here is where you come in. Join the conversation. Use the hashtag What's Trending with OjyOkpe, or comment on our live feed. And of course, Leke. Tell me, which of these stories matters most to you? Because for the next 40 minutes, we're going into everything that has Nigeria and the rest of the world buzzing. But first, Nigerians stranded in South Africa stage a protest outside the Nigerian High Commission in Pretoria, furious over delays in the second repatriation flight as a June 30th deadline from anti-migrant groups draw dangerously close. Let's take a look.
I want to hear you say, "Thank you, Mr. President."
Thank you, Mr. President.
We see the good thing you're doing.
We see the good thing you are doing.
And we are just pleading to fast track it.
And we're just pleading to fast track it.
Now that is a valid message.
I tell Mr. President, thank you.
Thank you, President.
Thank you for what?
Thank you for what?
Malawi's government has steadily taken their people home. Zimbabweans are steadily taking their people home. Mozambicans are steadily taking their people home. Our people are asked to leave their homes and come here to be lifted. And they have moved, only to be stranded here. And then you are telling us to thank the government of Nigeria.
I don't understand.
Why would we thank Mr. Tinubu?
Thank you, President. For what?
For what? They ask people to come out. Even if you have not asked Nigerians to come out, we will find our way.
Yeah.
You will be gotten home. You need to trust your missions. Not even here to take questions. I'm here, sir, to reassure you. Simple.
Nigerians are crying and they are politically right there in the red chamber. They don't want to hear them.
It's okay.
They are crying.
He has assured us that they are
Oh,
going.
not before. Before then, what will happen?
Let's go and get our money. She have come to give her.
Please. That is, we have to dialogue. It's not a monologue. Please. You are telling us on behalf. When? Give us a date. They are crying here. They don't have any place to sleep. People are stranded, sleeping on the street. Even so many of them are sick. When I went inside there, so many of them inside there are sick because of the situation. Even right now, to see food to eat is difficult. If not, some of the pastors, like the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria here in South Africa, have come with their food and some other organization to make sure that these people have food. The government cannot even provide food for the people that are stranded in the High Commission here. It's so embarrassing, it's so shameful that the government of Nigeria are irresponsible.
All right, let's put this in full context. The federal government promised 4 more repatriation flights after the first batch of 258 Nigerians landed in Lagos. The second flight was supposed to depart on June 15th. It didn't. Minister Bianca Ojukwu stood before cameras on June 18th and promised no Nigerian willing to return home will be abandoned. And yet, on Monday, June 22nd, Nigerians were standing outside their own High Commission in Pretoria, protesting, frustrated, and frightened, with a June 30th deadline from anti-migrant groups drawing dangerously close. These are not just stranded travelers. These are citizens who registered through official government channels, followed the process, trusted the promise, and are now running out of time. The xenophobic threat in South Africa is real, and the slow pace of this evacuation is simply not good enough. Good morning, Dr. Abati. Good morning, Ayo. Good morning, Rufai. I can hear you just really, I know that you want to tackle the story because, I mean, like I've highlighted, these are Nigerians that went to register based on the promise given by the federal government of Nigeria. Some of them sold their homes, some of them, packed up, canceled their lease. And you can hear some of the frustrated Nigerians there saying, some people are in the hospital. I mean, what is the reason for this delay? And I had the opportunity to sit down exclusively with Airpeace CEO, Dr. Onyema, the man whose airline has been at the center of Nigeria's repatriation mission, to get his take on the delays and what Nigerians stranded in South Africa can expect. Here's what he had to say. Why did you not bring Nigerians back home for free this time around?
Okay, I've done about 16 evacuations for this country free of charge, during several millions. And the question is, why not now? 2 issues. You also know that this particular point in time is not good for any airline. That is the truth. The cost of aviation fuel has quadrupled. And it is not true that I'm taking money from the federal government for myself. What the federal government paid was not up to the costs of that operations. I subsidized it. So it's not as if it was totally fully funded, like I'm seeing in the papers. That is not the cost of, I don't want to mention it. Because,
you mean the flights that landed here on June 11th?
Yes.
Was not fully funded?
I subsidized it. Airpeace subsidized it. The president has approved funds for further evacuation. All I need is the cost of operations.
All right. Rufai, over to you. So you can hear Dr. Onyema here saying that he actually subsidized that fully funded government repatriation, evacuation, or what you might call it. It wasn't even the amount of money that was supposed to have been used to repatriate or evacuate our Nigerians from South Africa was not even fully paid. And now Nigerians are still out there. But he says that he believes that the president has approved the funds. But where is the money? Why are Nigerians stranded?
Onyema, God bless you. In fact, it's on your own mandate I'm standing today. If after their failure, don't let me talk too much because some people here are friends with them. The consular officer in South Africa.
In Pretoria, the
in
head
Pretoria.
Of the Ambassador Nini.
Ambassador Nini.
If
after the failure, they failed the people, she's saying they should say President Tinubu has done well. No, Ambassador Nini, you should have told them to be singing, on your mandate we shall start. Ambassador Nini. Nini Okeuche. Nini Okeuche. Is he an interested party?
Yeah, there she is. Yeah.
No, just to call her.
Just to, I know, it's the same
yeah.
thing.
Ambassador
What
Nini,
effrontery?
yes.
What effrontery? What nerve? You see, these people don't regard us, they don't rate us. Look at the effrontery. We're saying he has done well. It's Osho free they want. When Allen Onyema was doing this thing free of charge, no comma. The last time that happened in 2019, I be 2020.
Yeah.
When Allen went to pick people back, we didn't hear comma because it was from his money. He was funding it. Now you say government takes more responsibility. Now there's a K-leg in the matter. Then Ambassador Nini has the nerve to be telling us to be praising Tinubu and say, "Oh, your man." She didn't say, "Oh, your mandate." I'm proud. Say, "Thank you, President." Thank you, Allen Onyema. Afterwards, what did we do for Allen in return? Nothing. Victimize the man, pull him here and there, tax issues, fight him, crumble his business. This is a man that has a heart to give to people. So, because they will be so quick to say now that the government has over 50 billion for reserve. So what are we doing with the money? They will say government made over something big trillion in revenue. What are we doing with the money? We've had so much money now. What are we doing with the money? Government cannot go back and bring a citizen. You know, when we're saying in Ghana, when the first repatriation came back, some people were saying President Tinubu has. So it was even Allen that subsidized the money for them.
Yes.
And Osho free people. So it was Allen that subsidized the money. You can see how they make mockery of this country. Please, those in charge, pay Allen Onyema his full money. This man can't be going through. The Nigerian government did not buy plane for Allen Onyema. He has a right, he's a businessman to do, because in all of this now, you will be dragging him, he still pays taxes and everything. He can't continue to do this social free for you. Pick up your own weights and support this man.
All right.
Pure and simple.
Dr. Bati.
Okay, let's put it like this. You recall that the Nigerian government announced that there will be 5 batches of flights after the High Commission in South Africa had recorded over 1,000 Nigerians who had volunteered to return home.
Yes.
Now, after that promise by the Nigerian government, only 1 flight came back, and that was on June 11, 258 persons.
Yes.
We were told that by the following week, another batch will come home. We were told that, before June 30, all the persons will have been evacuated. And now we have this ugly situation of Nigerians who had been expecting their country to airlift them, evacuate them, failing to do so. Now, I think it's very embarrassing, because when we discussed this subject, I think on June 11, I said I hoped that we will not find ourselves in a situation whereby we'll be hearing that money has not been released.
You said so.
For the evacuation.
Yes, I remember
so
you saying
it has turned out to be prophetic. Okay, left to Mr. Allen Onyema. He would have loved to give free passage to everybody, but he did it once. Okay, Rufai has
done
made
it 16 times.
Yes, okay. Rufai says, what did he gain from it? The thing to note is that airpeace is a business. And these are very difficult times for the aviation industry.
Yes.
As a result of what is happening in the Middle East, now you find that even airlines in Europe, in Asia, they are having to cut down to bring 1 flight from South Africa to Nigeria alone. Jet A1, aviation fuel, is about $300,000 just to go and come back. Now, where is that $300,000? Who is going to bring it from the pocket, apart from money for logistics and other things? So they should not expect too much from Allen Onyema and airpeace. That's number 1. Number 2, I think that maybe Ambassador Nini Uche is right to say we praise President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The little we know about this is that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had already given the approvals.
Yes.
He had already approved the funding.
That's what.
So where is that Bermuda Triangle?
Correct.
Either in the Ministry of Finance or in the office of the SGF or anywhere else. Correct. Where the money did not reach destination. Because that's what happens in this country. When they had the Edo Sports the other year, there were issues. The money was in the Ministry of Finance. The money could not get to Edo State. And the National Sports Festival was in trouble. This may be the same kind of situation that we're facing here. And we urge President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and all relevant persons exercising delegated authority to investigate what happened to President Tinubu's approval. if the money has been approved, who is sitting on it?
Right.
Because this is Nigeria, and we know the kind of things that happen when it comes to finance.
Yes.
Onyema should not do any free something. Aviation fuel is very expensive, and we all know that.
Right. Every Nigerians, right, must be respected. Absolutely. These Nigerians cannot keep, hanging around and waiting after their government promised to bring them home. And this is all we're asking for. What do they call it? Evacuate our Nigerians. Bring them home. And reactions are trailing one of the most dramatic court scenes Nigeria has witnessed in recent memory. The remand of activist and presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore at Kuje Correctional Center after the Federal High Court dismissed his application requesting Justice Mohammed Umar recuse himself from the case on grounds of alleged bias. But it was what happened next that has Nigeria talking. A viral video captured approximately 10 armed DSS operatives storming the court premises, physically dragging Sowore out of the building in a chaotic struggle as lawyers and supporters desperately protested. Let's take a look.
Wait. Go for it. Don't push it. Speak. Take your time and speak.
When you are
in democracy,
people steal billions to prison. You put them in a van. Why do you want to put me in Black Maria? What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong?
Is there another vehicle to escort him?
There is no any vehicle.
So,
we look for Uber. We follow you.
Yes.
I don't have to enter this thing because of my back. You cannot put me in Black Maria. I'm opposed to.
Put him in a proper place.
Even if you want the DSS to follow us, let them give us one car. I will follow them.
So
but don't put me in a Black Maria.
Okay. Can you follow them?
Yes. No, don't worry. No. I enter their car. No problem.
They will not submission. They will not submit.
I will go with them.
Please,
let them drive us.
So we don't make any.
Don't worry. Don't worry. No. Let's go.
Follow me.
All right, Sowore is being persecuted by the DSS for allegedly calling President Tinubu a criminal on X and Facebook. He pleaded not guilty. His new counsel has filed a stay application with the case returning on Wednesday, June 24th. But the image burning through social media this morning is not a legal argument. It is 10 armed men in black dragging the presidential candidate out of the courthouse, raising serious questions about the rule of law, the independence of the judiciary in Nigeria. Now, let me take a reaction, Ayo, before I come to you. This person wrote on X, even during the era of military rule, we rarely witnessed this level of rascality in our courtrooms. Today, the sanctity and dignity of Nigeria's courts appear to be under increasing assault. And both you and I know where this culture of impunity originates. Justice should not be reflected merely in judicial pronouncement. It must also be evident in the conduct of those who appear before the courts and swear to uphold their sanctity and authority. Ayo, you saw the videos. They were quite alarming. It did not look good.
Yes, it doesn't look good. And I like the last post that you read. First of all, is that the optics do not look good at all because he's not just a citizen, he's now a presidential candidate. And already there are controversies around the lead up to the 2027 elections. It doesn't mean that a presidential candidate should not also follow the rule of law. But remember that last week we talked about his absence in court, contempt of court, or the accusation of him jumping bail, and he's saying that he actually was there, but the judge was not on seat. But this matter in itself has been very controversial, Oji. Number one, starting from the Cyber Crimes Act of 2024, which is still a controversial piece of legislature. A number of people might argue as to the vagueness or the ambiguity of some of the charges brought against him because of a post he made with regards to the president. To what extent would that be seen to be a curtailing of free speech? But that's another argument on its own. But I'm just talking about the controversy that has trailed this particular matter. Then the handling of the man himself. I mean, Sowore is not a man who is a stranger to controversy, but the international community is watching. And I love what you read out around the rule of law and the sanctity of the rule of law.
Yes.
This is not just about about Sowore. It's about investor and the perception of how the rule of law is respected or not respected in Nigeria. And we often talk about it. The high-handedness. The judge has been asked by Sowore made an application for the judge himself to be recused. In March 2026, he held his defense lawyer, Sowore's defense lawyer, in contempt and was infamously asked to kneel down in court. So these kinds of matters coming out of the courts, it doesn't look very well at all. What we are asking is that every single Nigerian, irrespective of their status or the offense they say they have committed, ought to be treated fairly and in line with the principles of the law. Fair hearing across board. He was handled in a way that should not be seen publicly, and it almost seems like he was being targeted. And that's what people would not like. And that's why there are protests now, and civil society organizations are kicking against it as well.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right, Ayo. Well, NDC presidential candidate Peter Obi has ignited a fresh political firestorm, taking to X on Monday to boldly call on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to resign immediately, citing the decline of the economy and the sharp uptick in insecurity, drawing parallels with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer's shock resignation. Obi argued that accountability must define Nigerian leadership, pointing out that President Tinubu has not fulfilled his campaign promises. And I'll read Peter Obi's post on X in part. He wrote, "The Prime Minister's planned resignation comes amid mounting public frustration over a stagnant economy, a worsening cost of living crisis, and a perceived failure to honor key campaign pledges. Looking inward in our dear country, we can recall our own situation before 2015. Our president, on several occasions, championed the call for the then President Goodluck Jonathan to resign over economic hardship and insecurity affecting Nigerians during the Chibok school kidnapping incident. He demanded the immediate resignation of President Jonathan, arguing that the government had failed in its most fundamental duty of protecting lives. During the 2023 election campaign, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu made several promises, including improved electricity supply. He also challenged the electorate not to vote for him for a second term if he failed to deliver on those commitments, particularly in providing stable power, fighting corruption, and improving the welfare of Nigerians. At present, however, these conditions have worsened. Electricity supply remains unreliable. Insecurity has intensified in many areas, including kidnappings, and economic hardship has deepened rather than eased. I therefore join Nigerians of goodwill in calling for the resignation of the president over monumental failure in governance. Such a gesture would help enthrone a political culture rooted in accountability and responsibility, rather than further entrenching impunity. Well, the presidency has fired back, with Special Advisor Bayo Ononuga describing Obi's call as childish, hollow, and anti-democratic, insisting that Nigeria runs a presidential system with a fixed 4-year term, not a parliamentary system like the United Kingdom, and that recent APC victories in Ekiti, Nasarawa, and Enugu reflect continued public confidence in Tinubu's administration. Ononuga also urged Peter Obi to wait until the presidential election in 2027 to know what the people really think. I mean, this is a huge conversation. We've have, two very different takes, and Nigerians are reacting. Peter Obi's supporters say the call for accountability is legitimate and long overdue, while others agree with the presidency that comparing Nigeria to the United Kingdom is fundamentally flawed. But beyond the debate, one question lingers with the 2027 fast approaching. Has President Bola Ahmed Tinubu actually delivered on his promises? Let us know in the comment section your thoughts.
Real quickly, I want to read an empirical fact. Flashback to 2014. The dates, and this story is reported on the Nation newspaper, November 5, 2014. Insecurity, Tinubu asked Jonathan to resign. He was speaking in Ilorin, Kwara State. And let me quote President Tinubu speaking. President Tinubu said, and I quote, "I see the sea of refugees caused by Boko Haram insurgents and the lies coming from Jonathan's government. They have exhibited failure, lack of capacity, vision, and creativity. The lies of yesterday are what they repeat today, and again they will repeat tomorrow. They are lying to you. They are lying about the security, toying about the security of the country. I don't have time to explain the logic of their lies. But if you control the armed forces and you are commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Federal Republic, why should any part of this country be under occupation? And you give us excuses every day. In any civilized country, Jonathan should have resigned. But if he will not resign, he should wait for our broom. We will sweep him away. I will come back." So, in this regard, I just want to ask some questions. So, are people not being refugees in Nigeria because of bandits and insecurity? Mm-hmm. Is it not a video you played yesterday, Oji, that about a community where the police themselves took the video, that the police was commenting that the village was empty because of insecurity? Mm-hmm. Are they not been telling us that they've degraded bandits and criminals? Are we not seeing killing in Bokos? Are they not repeating the logic they've told us over and over again? Has anything changed? So, based on quoting President Tinubu now, but party leader Tinubu in 2014, he said that if there's a commander-in-chief and he's giving you excuses every day, in a civilized country, he should resign. So, quoting President Tinubu verbatim, what has changed between the problems President Tinubu said then and now? Has anything changed? Sefini Laba.
All right. Well,
I dropped my case.
I mean, you've made your point. I know we have discussed this story, but I'd like to just reel out some stories under politics. We had disturbing videos from the Enugu North Senatorial by-election, which took place on Saturday, June 20th, which are raising serious questions about the integrity of the poll. In one viral clip, PDP senatorial candidate Nestor Ezemem was caught on camera surrounded by armed men near a van, with the person filming calling him out directly for terrorizing voters at polling unit 017. Let's take a look.
Nestor, go to your polling unit. Stop terrorizing me. Stop terrorizing me in my polling units. Go to your polling unit, Nestor. Go to your polling unit, sir. Is this your polling unit? Are you okay? Sir, is this your polling unit? You just come here and you bring talks here, you bring police, you start to harass us. So because you don't have police, we'll run away. We must protect our votes. Our votes must be protected, Nestor. You have lost and you have lost woefully. Go back to your polling unit. How did you get to here? Officer, what do you want to? I said, how did you get to here? How did you get to here? Officer, can you have attacked me? Near me. Okay. What do you want to do? Go fire me? Near me. Okay. You are fighting an officer. Why are you fighting an officer? Why are you?
Unbelievable. And that's not all. A separate video shows a suspected political thug on the ground begging for mercy after being caught allegedly attempting to scare away voters and flee with ballot boxes. We also had yet another clip that allegedly captured mass voting in the APC's favor as two men are seen stuffing votes into a ballot box. Let's take a look.
Writing, printing for them and voting for them. It's a pity. Your work, that is not your work. You are not presiding anything. You are voting. You are doing everything alone for APC.
I hope you are not.
You should be ashamed.
Good morning.
You should be ashamed. You hear it was Roman. Are you doing something honorable and you're afraid?
One by-election, 3 damning videos showing armed thugs, mass voting, violence and fraud characterizing the Enugu North election. Yiga Africa has already flagged integrity gaps in the Ekiti governorship election this same weekend, and now Enugu North is adding to that picture. Is this a democracy we're building? That's a question out there for our users on X to answer. I thought I should highlight the situation over the weekend. We call for credible elections come 2027. I mean, this is really unfortunate. This is not what we need to see after, how much was it? Billions of naira being invested in INEC. We don't need to see this at this moment. Shall we now take our good news report? And this one is significant for Ogun State. Governor Dakpo Abiodun has announced that oil exploration and drilling activities have officially commenced in Eba, Ogun West Side local government area, as part of efforts to position Ogun State as an oil-producing state. Let's take a look.
Under my watch, Ogun State will become oil producing. Under my watch. This oil that we have now begun the processes of establishing the commercial quantities has always been here in Ogun State. Our governor ti jẹ before me, kí ló dé tẹ́ pé nígbà ọ̀tẹ̀ tiwa. As we speak, drilling activities have commenced in Eba in Ogun State. Ó ṣe wá jẹ́ pé ìgbà tèmi ṣe ìgbà tó tẹ́ tèmi àtẹ̀yìn ni Ọlọ́run bá wa ṣe. And let me tell you what they told us. What they told us. They said what we've seen in Eba is nothing. That the entire of Ijebu East, the entire of Odogbolu, the entire of Ijebu is sitting on oil.
Congratulations, Ogun State. No, they carry last today. Congratulations to our 2 Ogun brothers on the table this morning. Now, the drilling was approved by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the ambition doesn't stop at oil. Governor Abiodun also reaffirmed that Ogun's deep sea port is on course and set to become one of the deepest and longest ports in sub-Saharan Africa. From oil wells to deep sea ports, Ogun State is positioning itself as Nigeria's next economic powerhouse. And that's something to celebrate. Congratulations to the good people of Ogun State and, of course, Governor Dakpo Abiodun. Now, she will now take our story under entertainment, this time in Chicago, where Grammy Award-winning Afrobeat star Tems met with the former U.S. First Lady, Michelle Obama, in a heartwarming moment to inspire the next generation of female artists. Their meeting was part of activities launched at the new Obama Presidential Center, with Michelle Obama and Tems speaking with young girls about the importance of authenticity, confidence, and self-expression.
You have to do things that bring more of you out, like that make you more authentic. That helps with confidence.
I mean, Barack and I built this center for you, for this very thing to happen. That you have spaces where you can come and create and find your voice and practice who you want to be.
I really believe in what these guys are doing here, which is also why I started the Leading Vibe initiative to support young women in music in every way.
Congratulations, you guys. Keep up the great work. Hopefully we'll see you here again and again and again.
What an inspiring moment. Congratulations to the Obamas for always finding ways to champion the next generation. Now, our final story under entertainment, we're going to highlight Afrobeat superstar Asake's special performance of his latest album, Money, complete with a live orchestra. The show took place at the Theatre Royal, Drury Lane in London, where he performed some of his biggest hits, including Forgiveness. Let's take a look.
Forgiveness, forgiveness, Father, forgive me for the bad things that I do. Consistency, consistency, I promise to be consistent in my positive action. Forgiveness, forgiveness, Father, forgive me for the bad things that I do. Consistency, consistency, I
Consistency. I love Ashake. She's doing so well. I wonder if we can really take one of our comments from Leke, because earlier on the show we told you we would read your comments. So let's take one reaction on the delayed evacuations of Nigerians from South Africa. Christopher wrote on Leke saying, "We are not safe at home. We cannot bring our people home. We are so unserious in this country. Smaller countries have picked their people without incident. The giant of Africa is hailing the president. For what exactly? Who do us like this?" Is that the question?
Yeah,
who do us like this? But you know, it's not all sad news in Nigeria. We have seen Thames, we have seen Ashake performing, and of course, your state is now legendary in position Nigeria as an economic power hub. On that note, I'd love to thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on what's trending today. Well, that's all I have for you guys. And what's trending today, here is Forgiveness by Ashake again. Enjoy it, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
Forgiveness, Father, forgive.